Oh. Yeah, he's called this. I think he thought there was a reasonable chance that maybe Helmuth had
6.
A heart draw. Needs a queen or a 4, or Helmuth's going to double up. It's a king on the river, and Helmuth doubles through there. $123,000 pot goes to Phil Helmuth.
Really don't like the call from Tom.
7.
I think he should have left that one alone.
Now we're playing the game, boys. Now we're playing the game.
See, that's why I don't book you, man. Because there's too many bad players in this game that might double you up.
And that is going to stem his loss just a little bit. Still down $176,000, though.
Welcome back to London, where we've got 8 of the most famous faces in poker, all trying to take a chunk out of arguably the greatest player in the game. That is Phil Ivey. Can anyone make a dent? Let's find out as we hand back to Gary Jones and David Tuckman.
1,200 to play.
It looked like Antonius was going to fold that. Then he thought better of it.
Cool.
Limp. Wow.
This is a hand I like.
Fold. 1,200 to play.
He plays it.
I think for 1,200 we're going to see Mike at least call this.
And we haven't seen him raise those kind of hands, and he stays true to form and just calls.
You really got to.
The problem he finds is too many of the other players like to raise.
Remember what I told you I was going to do? You remember?
So we got pocket 6s, pocket 5s.
You're the only one that has me beat too.
And Tom Dwan doesn't need too much for him to raise it up. And Phil Helmuth has got a big hand too.
Well, had Helmuth not won the last hand, he probably would have shipped it in on this one.
There's a raise already here from Tom.
Yeah, Tom going to try to pick up the dead money.
100 total.
10-8.
10-8.
10-8.
I think if Phil calls this, he could bring in the rest of the table. Well, he has. There's enough marginal hands out there that.
Actually, I was gonna raise 12,000, so you save money.
I'm pretty sure Mattisau and Benjamin are going to call. They both have pocket pairs. And if Phil Ivey calls, that could bring in every single person. And I think he is going to call. Phil Ivey, the first player in the $1 million cash game history with over $1 million in front of him.
And he wants more.
2. Thank you.
He calls that bet.
You're such a bad beat for me. I was going to raise 12,000. He was going to re-raise, and I was just going to give 200,000 the same.
9,600 more.
Or whatever it is. So unfair.
Patrick Antonius.
But I have a feeling it's
and we're looking at about $11,000 from each person.
Could be
Do you have
six-handed.
any idea how much money it cost me this pot?
Could be looking at a pot of excess of $60,000 before the flop even hits.
I'm so tired. It's unbelievable.
And once again, I would bet my firstborn that we're going to see Mattisau and Benjamin in the pot.
9,006 more.
Patrick decides to go. Mike's been relatively tight, but he's got the kind of hand he knows if he catches, he could get the lot. So he's called.
That's exactly why he's called. If he can hit his magical 6.
Cool.
No tiny raise. Don't ever call me a coward. I was folding this hand too.
15.
What do you need, Mike?
How much do you have, Mike?
Like 250 starting the hand.
What do you need, Mike? A deuce?
Duck, goose. I would take the 3 and the 4 and the deuce on the flop, maybe.
Now we're playing the game. I mean, it was getting a little slow.
9-8.
Wow, what a flop for 10-jack.
No. That's like a 5.
Nothing like raising out of the blind with 10 jack and then flopping the nuts.
God dang it all. What am I doing? I got the Maniac Kid on my right, and I didn't re-raise him before the flop.
is the bit.
I deserve, I guess I deserve to lose. I keep
Looks like
the kid.
I can't imagine he's going to get a caller here. There isn't actually that much for any of the other players. Phil Ivey's got a pair and a straight draw, so maybe he'll get a call from him. It is bottom pair, though.
I am so. This is really bad. I am
That
so
was pretty
appalled.
bad, yeah.
I don't see. Where's his? Who's? Look it. Can anybody see his cards over here?
That's all right, Mike. We know a deuce or three.
Would you be able to see his cards right here?
It's okay, they knew he was folding anyway.
Mike, we know you needed a deuce 3 or 4 anyway.
No, but I mean,
Talk about your hand.
I didn't say anything about my hand. I just thought he's folding.
You don't know who's in the pot?
Well, you have 17 chips on red cards.
You don't know who's
chips.
in the pot at the beginning of a pot?
You come over here, and if you can see your, I'll give you 10,000.
I bet that if I was over there, I
you
would
can see
know
your
that
you
I
can see
was
your
in the
cards.
pot.
10,000 says you can't see your cards. Right here. You got to bet.
10,000 says I know everybody who's in the pot from the beginning.
I apologize, but there's no way you can see your cards. What else do you want me to say about it?
Well, Mike's passed out a turn.
You want to bet 10,000? I always know who's in the pot.
I know who's in the
flop?
pot, but I thought you folded.
For the rest
I
of the
can't see
session?
your cards. Your cards are all hidden by the red chips.
Okay. Now, where was I?
A lot of money at stake. Temper starting to rise. Pot is 90,000, and it's 33,000 to call.
Of course, it really should be Tom Dwan that Mike Madisau should be apologising to.
33.
3,800.
He's giving Phil Ivey free information. He knows that Mike Madisau's not going to raise or play behind him.
Phil Ivey going to give it up.
I think he was the only potential customer here, unless David wants to be creative. He doesn't. Tom takes that one down. He's a bit unfortunate. No one else caught any of that flop.
Wow, what is going on here?
7-8-9 might have been a better flop for him. The 8-10 might have felt a bit stronger, and the pocket sixes might have even played.
You might be retired with a mansion on the top of a hill, and the front of the house says Helmuth's house.
I'll probably be his personal assistant then.
He might have he'll have his library.
He'll probably pay me about 150 a month for being his
Every
personal
player
assistant.
at this table played as fast as he did when they were in the early 20s. Everyone.
I know I did. I won't deny
Well, of
it.
course, I did too.
I don't know if I ever had that speed, but I had.
I had that speed. I had that speed.
Well, you might want to write.
Phil was faster.
I don't think you remember.
I actually played. Yeah,
He was faster.
yeah. Philly played even faster. Yeah, that's true.
He doesn't play that many hands. He probably
I
would.
play faster than him. Is that what you're saying?
When you first came into poker, you played faster than he did. Well, I don't know.
1,200.
Is it possible? 21-year-old kid just
Fly straddle from Phil Ivey.
Why don't you pull him alongside and teach him how to play, Phil?
They don't want you to slow down.
Give him all the lessons.
So just let him go off for $500,000.
A lot of these older players reliving their former glory through Tom Dwan.
They don't want you to slow down, buddy. And so just let him go off for $500,000.
6,000 to play.
You didn't know they pulled me aside
Listen,
at the
man,
break? Some of the players pulled me
I
aside
gotta
at the
take
break
care
and
of
they
these
said,
young
"Don't slow
kids with
Jared
money,
down."
man. I gotta make sure they don't go broke. Who am I gonna borrow from? I've seen you play, man. I'm worried about you.
Let's recap the action so far. Phil Ivey with $1.1 million in front of him. He's up over $300,000. Mike Madisau in second place. He's got nearly $250,000 in front of him. And of course, as we go down this leaderboard, Tom Dwan, Kid Poker, who knows what he is, $400,000 in front of him, but he's down $150,000. And of course, Phil Hellmuth and Patrick Antonius, both down nearly $200,000.
Jesse, you didn't sleep last night?
We're here at the FullTiltPoker.net $1 Million Cash Game. I'm David Tuckman alongside professional poker player Gary Jones. And I cannot believe my eyes. We look at this field here. Gus Hansen, Phil Ivey, Phil Hellmuth, David Benjamin. Mike the Mouth. There's Patrick Antonius. All in one game. $3.4 million at the table.
How far would the number be before you finally figured out?
The blinds in front of Tom Dwan, better known as Durr, online. An online sensation. He's only 22 years old. Taking the poker world by storm. Got a live straddle here from Gus Hansen, so it's 1,200 to play. Of course, the blinds are 300, 600. Straddle makes it 1,200. But we get a raise here from Mattisau. And a call from Dwan. And Helmuth is going to call as well. He's got the gap-suited connector with the Jack-9.
Where's the kids and balls?
Phil wants to call, he wants to call, he wants to call.
And are they going to play this with the Jack-3 offsuit?